Good morning, students. Today we are going to continue the same topic of Pharmacy Act in 1948. Already in previous chapters, we was saying you about there are 5 chapters which has to be noted. In that we have completed introduction, and then we have learned what is Pharmacy Council of India, what does the Pharmacy Council of India does, and how it guides, and what are its education regulations, what is its system, and what is the minimum qualification required to be registered as a registered pharmacist. So how the institutions will run if all over India all the institutions follow the same guidelines as per PCI, and even they have uniform syllabus all over India. So briefly we have discussed about Pharmacy Council of India. Now we are going to study about State Pharmacy Council of India. So SPC. So even in Pharmacy Council of India, we have studied about Central Council and Executive Council, how they conduct its meetings. So right now we will be seeing about our State Pharmacy Council of India, SPC. So now we are going to see about third chapter, State Pharmacy Council. So State Pharmacy Council is charged with the responsibility to maintain and update the register of registered pharmacists within the state. So this will be there for all the states, and each state will look after about the registered pharmacist and how to register, and they update the same register to the even in the central register. So in this State Pharmacy Council not only registers registered pharmacists, they also do the renewal. They also give good standing certificates to the companies, and there are so many other responsibilities for the State Pharmacy Council. So this State Pharmacy Council is amended under Section 42 of Pharmacy Act, and here no person other than registered pharmacist can compound or dispense, and even the persons who are selling medicines, it may be wholesale or retail, there should be again a registered pharmacist. So this State Pharmacy Council look after the registered pharmacist details of that particular state, and those who are coming in transfer from other state also the State Pharmacy Council looks after. Coming to this compound or dispense, in earlier days, if you see, they used to compound then and they used to dispense it. But now this task is completely under registered pharmacist, and he can act as a compound, and he will only dispense, or the persons who are having their retail businesses providing medicines will only the registered pharmacist can do it, and only the registered pharmacist can handle the prescription in the pharmacies. You all know there are chain pharmacies, there are so many medical and general stores. Nowadays they are maintaining registered pharmacists as it has come into force due to the Pharmacy Act 1948 regulations. So in each and every state, all the people, all the students, those who have completed as a registered pharmacist, they are asking or fighting with the government to implement Pharmacy Act 1948, so that all the rules will be laid down as per the norms of Pharmacy Act 1948. So in the State Pharmacy Council of India, one state can also help to the needs of the other states by an official agreement. Why? Because see, already if there is a state, for example, to say you very clearly, Andhra Pradesh is the one state before 2014. So now Andhra Pradesh state has been divided into two states, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. So in these particular cases, we can have an official agreement from both the states, and we can maintain a joint state pharmacy council. And like this joint state pharmacy council can covers two or more states with under the official agreements. But to say very clearly, we are having now our own pharmacy. That means Telangana State Pharmacy Council and Andhra Pradesh State Pharmacy Council, APSC, TSPC, Telangana State Pharmacy Council. So we are having our own separate council, and even now all the students are getting registered pharmacist certificate from Telangana state itself only, those who have completed after 2018. So the composition of State Pharmacy Council constituted by the state government or joint state pharmacy council constituted by participating states. This is about the constitution and composition of SPC and JSPC. So that is State Pharmacy Council and Joint State Pharmacy Council. So first of all, if you see, we have, see, in all the cases of this constitution and composition, most of the time you will find about elected members, nominated members, and ex officio members. This is a common criteria. So if you see first elected members, under State Pharmacy Council, 6 members elected by registered pharmacist of the particular state. So whichever state it may be, in that state, 6 members should be elected, and those should be a registered pharmacist of that particular state. Next, 1 member who is a registered medical practitioner elected by Medical Council of the state. So 1 member who is a registered medical council practitioner, registered medical practitioner elected by Medical Council of that particular state. So each and every state elects his own medical practitioner. Coming to Joint State Pharmacy Council, 3 to 5 members will be elected from the registered pharmacists of each participating state. Each participating state. So here is the point you have to remember. When it is a Joint State Pharmacy Council, for example, if there are 2 states, each state has to elect 3 to 5 members, those who are registered pharmacists of the each state. Then 1 registered medical practitioner of Medical Council of each state participating state. So if there are 2 states, 2 states has to give its own elected member. Right. Nominated members. Here in nominated members, 5 members nominated by each state, which at least 3 should be degree or diploma holders in pharmacy or pharmaceutical chemistry. So in nominated members, there should be 5. So in that 5, 3 should hold a degree or diploma in pharmacy education. Whereas in Joint State Pharmacy Council, 2 to 4 members of them each from each participating state, of which more than 50% shall be the persons with qualification of degree or diploma in pharmacy or pharmaceutical chemistry. So these are nominated members. Next, coming to the third point, it is ex officio members. So ex officio members, they have CAO, Chief Administrative Officer, are in charge of medical and health services of the state. His or her nominee will be the ex officio member for the State Pharmacy Council as well as Joint State Pharmacy Council. Officer in charge for Drugs and Cosmetics Act 1940 of each state, his or he will be the nominee. That person will be ex officio member. So here also officer in charge for Drugs and Cosmetics Act 1940 of participating state or his or her nominee. So whatever it is. So if there is that in charge person, he will come as an ex officio members, or else they will nominate and he will become as a ex officio member. Next, one government analyst under DCA. I hope you all remember what is DCA. So one government analyst under DCA 1940, Drugs and Cosmetics Act 1940, nominated by each participating state. So both the states, you have the same members, but whereas it comes to when Joint State Pharmacy Council, there should be 2 persons from the each state as a ex officio members, from one state and the other from the other state. So this is about your completely composition of State Pharmacy Council and Joint State Pharmacy Council. So we see once again. So State Pharmacy Council has elected members, nominated members and ex officio members. Same members will be there for Joint State Pharmacy Council also. So 6 members elected by registered pharmacist, 1 member who is a registered medical practitioner, RMP. Don't get confused. Registered medical practitioner means RMP, and that is elected by Medical Council of the state. Nominated members, 5 members will be nominated by each state, of which at least 3 should be possessing a degree or diploma in pharmacy. Then ex officio members, CAO, Chief Administrative Officer in charge of Medical and Health Services, and officer in charge of Drugs and Cosmetics Act, and 1 government analyst is who is working in the Drugs and Cosmetics Act, already we have studied in Drugs and Cosmetics Act the members. So he will be the official government analyst. So in the same way, Joint State Pharmacy Council also, from the 2 states, they have to elect, nominate and represent ex officio members for the 2 states, and the members will be double. So coming to Joint State Pharmacy Council, this council will be there till the other state forms its own State Pharmacy Council. Right. The term of State Pharmacy Council is for 5 years. Even Pharmacy Council of India is also they work the persons those who are working as a vice president, president or treasury cum secretary, they also have term period up to 5 years. So even Pharmacy Council of India constitution and composition members also maintain for 5 years. So the council elects president, vice president of the State Pharmacy Council, and who holds for office for a period of 5 years, and provided he or she continues as a member of executive committee of the State Pharmacy Council. It also comprises of 5 members elected from among its members. So because Here all the state members will be in that particular joint state pharmacy council. How many states will be joined? So all those members will be present. Coming to only state pharmacy council, that state representative members, nominated members from already when we in previous slide whatever we discussed, from that they select again 5 members for this executive committee. SPC. The State Pharmacy Council appoints a registrar who shall act as the secretary of the council, and he also act as treasurer. So if you remember, even Pharmacy Council of India also, registrar cum secretary acts as treasurer. The appointment of other officers, fixing of the salaries and payment of allowances to the members are also done by State Pharmacy Council. So here the other members will be recruited through appointment by State Pharmacy Council, and no other persons will be interfering except State Pharmacy Council. Even government members also will not interfere. The State Pharmacy Council is a statutory body and it can hold the property with a common seal. That means we have our own identity. State Pharmacy Council is a custodian of the register of registered pharmacists in the state. This means, see, when we are studying B Pharmacy for 4 years, in between you may go for bank loan, you may go for any other purpose, passport purpose, or you are about to complete your final year, but you got the job. At that time, you come to college to ask a custodian certificate letter or custodian letter. What it contains, custodian letter states that the student bearing number XXX, he is studying in our college since 2012 or 2018, and all his certificates are under college custody till he completes his pharmacy course. Then when the student completes its education, the certificates will be released, and this custodian certificate is given only for the purpose of visa, passport, or for the purpose of bank loan, or for the purpose of any other further verification. So like this, the State Pharmacy Council is a custodian of registered pharmacists. Why? Because our information is maintained in a register, and that register is the main register which is responsible because all the registered pharmacists of that particular state details will be in that particular register, and every year that register has to be sent in 5 copies to the Pharmacy Council of India, and it has to be get updated in the central main register, right? The council sends 5 copies of the registers to the Pharmacy Council of India. So this is the point. They prepare 5 copies every year. State Pharmacy Council can fix the registration fee on an annual basis or long-term basis. It has to send 1/4 of its collection of registration fee every year before 1st May of Pharmacy Council of India. I hope already we have discussed in Pharmacy Council of India about the registered pharmacist. That is, if a student is paying 100 rupees, 1/4 of its, so only that particular state got only 1/4, only 100 rupees. So it has to spend 25 rupees before 1st May, that is April 31st, or maybe before 1st May. It has to be paid to the Pharmacy Council of India as per the norms provided by Pharmacy Council of India. Coming to State Pharmacy Council of India, it time to time it keeps informed concerned states government about its activities. It has to give its information to the even state government, whoever is working, whoever will be, whichever government may run. Why? Because so they also has to keep this data and they has to check whether this registered pharmacist certificate is correct or not. Why? Because some people will be manipulating and they will be keeping it and they will be running. And even government also has to know what is going on in State Pharmacy Council and how many pharmacists are available till date. So if any government post is there, they give information. So that is also most important. The State Pharmacy Council also organizes CEP, continuous education programs for registered pharmacists with an update to update their professional skills and knowledge in pharmacy fields and any other fields related to pharmacy background. So that is continuous education program means now the students those who are studying B pharmacy, they undergo industrial training or practical training after 3-2 before he enters into 4-1. There he does its work. And after the person who has become registered pharmacist, and it also organizes continuation education programs to update himself or herself. The State Pharmacy Council, with permission of the government, may appoint inspectors with prescribed qualification under Section 26A to inspect any premises where drugs are compounded or dispensed, and to see the qualification of person who is engaging in this professional activity and investigate any complaints in written and institution in consultation with State Pharmacy Council. So that means State Pharmacy Council has drug inspectors. So whenever they get any information or any complaints, or if they have any doubt in any certificates, whatever the government is providing the data, again they can go and recheck the premises and where the drugs are compounded or dispensed by a qualified person or not. This is also demanded by all the states, that is Implement Pharmacy Act 1948, or tell all the pharmacies or medical shops to maintain a registered pharmacist, because unqualified persons are opening the pharmacies and they are enjoying the fruits of ours. So see, nobody will allow into their profession without any qualification. If you have completed minimum diploma or any B.Pharm degree, then you are eligible to run a pharmacy store by yourself. So here what is going on? Our profession, our education, we are getting certificate, but the fruits are enjoyed by others. So this has to be noted, and we have to get updated, and we have to fight for our rights. So till now we have completed about State Pharmacy Council. So this State Pharmacy Council and the Joint State Pharmacy Council, both of them have same rules and regulations. I hope you have understood about State Pharmacy Council. So here also it has constitution and composition same as Pharmacy Council of India. Right.